Okay, I'm gonna call the regular meeting of the Cedar Springs Library Board to order. And we have the verification of a quorum, everyone is here. So we'll say pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would anyone like to make a motion regarding the agenda?
Make a motion, we approve the agenda as is.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye. All opposed, say no. Motion carried. And then similar for consent agenda.
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as is.
Thank you, Michelle. Any discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries. Director's report.
So the biggest things is the update to the RFID tagging. That is the weeding process is done. So now we're actually going to start tagging, and I have conferred with some staff. We're going to do it this weekend. There's no way we're going to get it done this weekend, but we'll hopefully be able to do a big start because we're going to come in when the library's closed. After this weekend and we assess where we're at, I'm going to kind of ask more staff if they want to stay after and stay late and try to get this done as soon as possible. As far as the one task that was asked of me last month was the comparison to CSPL to other class 3 libraries in the Lakeland Library Cooperative.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the 2024-2025 state aid report was not completed. Well, it was completed, but they haven't published the findings yet. So I had to go with 23-24. Any questions on any of the charts or graphs?
No, other than obviously we've made some progress.
Yes.
Great.
I guess my question is, are you, and I hate to ask this, but are you going to update this then when the
Yes,
new numbers come out?
I can.
Because I'm especially interested and appreciated so much, especially as far as number of employees, budget, but hours and the hours per week. And that's what really struck me. And I guess my question to you is, and don't even answer now, but when I look at this and we weigh ourselves, are we for our size and resources and everything else? And I'm just talking out loud. I imagine the strategic plan process is probably that's probably going to be in there somewhere. Are we open enough, or what hours?
Yeah, I do mention that. I think that should be a question on the survey is what times would you like the library open, and are we open enough, or what?
Yeah.
We'll figure out how that works. But yeah, I think that hours of operation should definitely be a question on the strategic plan.
And there's lots of ways to go about certain parts of that.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
Some libraries are parts of the year they're closed on Saturday, parts of the year they're open on Saturday.
Right.
As an example.
We could even offer 24/7 old pickup with lockers.
Mhm.
So yeah, there are multiple ways to answer that question, but I feel finding out what the public actually wants from us first is the first step.
But James, I just have to compliment you so much, because the question is, how do we compare to others, for
Yeah.
what we have, and it's not, and again, don't, I'm gonna teach you all the time anyways, but you're gonna tell us we're great and we're the greatest and everything else, but you're giving us the statistics, you're doing the data and getting us, right there. So this is really appreciated.
And then for the board, the one thing that I would really like the board to kind of decide is if we keep unique collection services or not. At the very end of the packet, there is a findings from Lakeland. Where essentially there was a 2006 or 2016, excuse me, change in the law where Unique is no longer allowed to notify credit reporting. And so what we're paying, they're no longer allowed to take people to collections. So what we're paying for is just essentially for them to send a letter saying, hey, you still have our books, but that is easily something we can just do and we don't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So because it's a line item. And I mean, I did put a 0 on the line item in the budget, but because it is a dedicated line item for collection services, I thought this would be a good time for the board to make this decision. Like, do you want to keep it? Do you want to get rid of it?
What?
Usually, it's all right here. It's a patron must have at least one item at billing 63 days overdue and view an O over $80 to qualify for collections. And we rarely get those. And what we're paying for is, so at that time, if they still have a book and I want to say maybe 2 months, they send a notification to them via mail saying, hey, you still have a book, you need to bring it back. That is a task that we could easily do and not have to pay a service to do it. That is a report we can run. That is a task we can add to somebody's daily tasks. And we don't have to pay $300 a year for a company to do that for us.
Like say if someone gives you a bad check to pay for something.
That is not, this is just for just for materials.
I will say, I think that it's very off-putting to the community to get that letter too.
Mm-hmm.
My 6-year-old got that letter once. And it was like, I think we're a community resource, and boy, it'd be a lot nicer to have it come from our friendly neighborhood library than, the evil collections agency out of Columbus, Ohio, or wherever it came from, like.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a great PR thing.
I guess what I'm just,
Have it, allow the library to drop the late fee.
It's not late fees. So we still don't charge late fees, but if you still don't bring back the item over a certain amount of time, you still have to replace it. So we're charging them replacement fees. So because we don't really need a third party to send that letter, we can do this. Like, we can draft the letter, we can run that monthly report, we can send them the letter and word it differently than just be like, hey, you still have this book.
Do you need a motion from us or just?
I think so, because this is a line item. So if you want to say I think the motion would be to cancel this service, and then I'll just go ahead and cancel it and we won't worry about it.
So the name of the service is Unique, right?
Yes. Unique management.
I guess the final question is that if we have the original green eggs and ham and somebody has that, what you're saying is instead of having this company we're paying $300 a year for, we'll still go after and we'll pursue and
Yeah.
recover that item, but we'll do it in-house.
Yes.
Is there actually many cases like that?
No.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
we pay a monthly fee for them, just administrative fees. But yeah, if we still send out the notification saying, hey, or if they still send out the notification of, hey, you owe us this book, we still get charged for them sending out that notification. So it's, yeah. So.
Cancel the contract with you.
I second that.
Any further discussion? Just on the side of caution, I guess I'll just do it as well. John?
Cancel it, yes.
Yes. John?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that passes.
Any other questions for me from the report?
Niche Academy, was that impacted by any of the stuff going on?
The only thing that would impact Niche Academy is we might lose some of the videos that the Library of Michigan created.
Yep.
But I did reach out to them personally and say, hey, what happens if we, because a lot of the videos on our website is done through the Library of Michigan. So I was like, what happens if they do, pull that? And then their answer was unanimously, we don't know. So, but that's not to say that wouldn't matter anyway, because without Melcat, we wouldn't have these databases at all.
Yeah.
So we would just have to remove that from the site.
Okay.
So.
And is it anything tripping you up from getting it on the website? It's going smoothly?
I would like to see that, I've been on there several times and it's much better. Easier to get around on, so.
Yeah, our website's doing great. I think a good example of this is our patron point, which is a way for patrons to sign up for digital library cards that are just as good as physical library cards. And they get the same access to everything, but they can do it from the comfort of their home. They don't have to come into the library to get the card. And I have it right here. For January through March, we've had a total of 4 applications. And then since the website's been up, we've had a total of 4 applications in that 3-week span. So yeah, I think it's because the website's easier to navigate and find stuff in.
You were gonna look at reading it again.
Mhm.
Did you do that, or you're gonna kind of do it as you're going?
We're gonna do it as we're doing the tagging. It'll be a 3-pronged, so we're gonna pull the books from the shelf before we get it up to get physically tagged. We'll make that final call. Yeah, we don't really need to tag this book. Because the tags are, we'll have to, they're finite. We're gonna have to reorder more eventually. And then, so they'll put the physical tag in it, they'll write the tag, and then we're gonna have another computer just strictly for inventory. So we're doing final stage of weeding, physical tagging, inventorying back out on the shelf. So we will have a much accurate reading on what we actually have on the shelf in the library.
Great, doing books are full.
They are all around. They're mostly going to the Friends of the Library book sales, and then whatever we don't sell, we'll probably recycle or donate. But that's to the Friends. The Friends they handle all that
They
stuff.
decide what.
Yeah.
So you have to budget report, very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions for Jane?
I have a couple regarding checks.
Oh, sure.
The Hillard Electric, did we have something that, you talked about like.
Yeah, that wouldn't be on this one. That was another light, but that gives you an idea of how expensive these LED lights are. And that was just a motion light to where when it was off, it would make a very loud, annoying buzzing noise. So we had to get them in, and because it's motion sensor, they had to look at other stuff and see if it was so that's what that was.
Any other complaints?
Straight line. I read it somewhere.
Oh, that's the new website. That's
Okay.
yep. That's their customer service. That's their troubleshooting. That's
Did you change over to Choice Bank yet?
that's were you gonna address that in your report?
Yeah, or
Okay.
you can.
We're in the process.
Yeah.
We're in the process.
Do they have good CD rates?
From actually, a little bit better.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I'm never gonna make it.
Okay.
Anything more? Further? Okay. All right, I just have, one thing on mine, actually, two. One is, one of the things the city has asked for from me, is it wasn't clear, to them from our offer letter to James that, the stipend that we agreed to give him each year is an every year thing, so in order for them to pay him that, We need to make a motion that it is a recurring every year. And, so. We gave him the stipend, that he could use for healthcare or whatever on top of the stipend.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
okay.
So it would be, that's a number of $6,000, which is part of the total compensation package,
That's correct.
annual compensation package.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
So,
Any discussion on that?
make the motion that it be, a reoccurring every year.
Annual.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever works.
It is money, so we'll go around. Michelle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
And then yes. Too. On that note, we are approaching the time, where we review the director as well, so, that will be upcoming. There'll be information about that soon. Okay. And then the very last thing is, on Wednesday, I'll be going to Lansing, with James, for Michigan Library Association Day of Advocacy. So be attending that, James, and be meeting with our area representative, things like that, and talking about libraries. And the important piece they play everywhere, not just here. So, okay. I don't know of any committees that met, but do any of the committees have anything to update us on? All right. We did meet with the city, about a week ago. And from that, we should have some information to share with you about where that process is headed pretty quick here. But as I was sitting in the parking lot, one of the things that made me think about, there was a little kid that came out with his mom and he ran directly for that fountain. And I immediately thought of insurance. After I thought about the West.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was like, uh-oh, those guys are coming back to footprints. Thankfully, his mother was faster. All right, we're to public comment number 1, so, if anybody would like to make a public comment?
Yeah, last, on April 15th, we had a CBDT meeting. And a discussion about having a celebration of the fountain of education. And, cleanup around, of course, the library, a few places, public places. So I don't know what the date is. I was just looking at the minutes, can't remember it. I don't know if you guys have that information anywhere.
Oh, gosh,
Maybe
I saw it.
James or- I
I
can't.
feel like it was the 17th, but I might be wrong.
The what, cleanup?
17th was the cleanup day?
Could be that Friday or Saturday.
Saturday, I believe.
Okay, so that's probably right. Anyway, they kind of postponed the celebration of the fountain till June. Nothing in the, I can't get the minutes on that either, so anyway, that stuff's coming up, so it's always a fun day to do that May cleanup and go around. It's a lot of trash out there, so
Yeah.
it's worth it to get a good clean spring start. So that's it, my news for today.
So we're headed to ongoing and new business, strategic plan, board focus group schedule.
So I talked to Carol about this. She's gonna be out of town in mid-May for vacation. And she thinks that this kind of focus group would be better as, well, it has to be a public meeting because all 7 of you will be hopefully present. So she was thinking, let's do it on May 27th, before our board meeting meet at 6. So everybody will get here at 6 again, and then she'll go through that focus group with everybody. And then we'll have our regular meeting at 7.
It's Tuesday.
Yes, it's a Tuesday because the
Memorial
20,
Day.
yeah, Memorial Day, yep.
Anybody have any
Fine,
comment
me.
there? No? Okay, all right, yeah. Okay. Big one. The biggest thing on our agenda tonight is the resolution. 2025-1, which would adopt the Cedar Springs Public Library budget. Everybody has a copy of this from their packet. If anybody in the public would like one, there is one on the table. Rather than we did not have them available to pass out last year when we did this, and so I read through the whole thing. I don't think it is something that requires that unless somebody disagrees with me. This would be the time to make a motion to accept this resolution.
Make a motion to accept resolution 2025-1. And then authorize the chair and the director to sign. Right? The chair and who?
The
Chair and secretary.
Yeah, the chairman's.
Allison, okay. I'll back down.
Mark.
Doesn't matter which one it's at. Yes.
Before we vote, is there any further discussion on the resolution? You're coming with that?
Just compliments, kudos, James. You really blew it out of the park on this one.
It's in great shape.
All this information, new website, dear citizen. Click, you want that information, there it is, right there. You have a question, call, whatever it may be.
It's
This
wonderful.
is
Yeah.
best presentation and adoption ever.
Yeah, I agree.
If anyone complains, tell them I'd be happy to meet with them personally.
Anything else?
Last time.
Can't do it.
Roll call.
Roll call vote, yeah. So we'll start as usual over here, Michelle.
Yeah.
Mark?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tony? Heidi?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. That passes all yes. Okay, anything for next meeting?
Just noting the 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we should, I suppose I will say that, we're starting the strategic planning process. And it occurred to me that we have an existing strategic plan that was renewed or extended. And a lot of people put a lot of time and effort to develop that. And don't we owe it to see how far we did, or did we achieve a lot, or were there things not done? It seems like we're just starting over fresh and creating a new one, but are we?
It's never a bad
No.
idea to look at where we were to see where we're going.
Is
That's
it,
part of the.
Yeah.
will that be part of?
Um,
this thing?
I can double check with her, but I think with this focus group, she just wants to hear your big ideas. Like, this is the big picture, right? Like, let's think big. Let's think where and when do you want this library to go? Kind of a thing.
Okay,
But again, it's never a bad idea to look at the past
And I
strategic
guess-
plan and kind of get some ideas.
Without having ever been through one
Mhm.
for this purpose, I've been through them in different environments. In those exercises that I've been part of, the review had happened long ago, and the focus was entirely on the future. And so,
totally agree,
but yeah, I understand. All I'm saying is, all I'm trying to get to is, this is new for all, I think nearly all of us. You've been through one. Yeah. But, so perhaps, if someone doesn't have a copy of the old one, let me know and I'll make sure you get it.
Well, but I don't,
And
I respect what Carol was saying. We're starting from this point and we're going forward. Don't let the history or whatever it is, you know, don't drag baggage and everything else. We're doing this. Okay, and we're talking to the community and all these different groups and they're gonna help us build it, you know, from the ground up. So it's not something the board dictates, so, you know, understand that. But it was just I guess it was just a personal thing that people worked hard on that. They, you know, and that's supposedly been our guide, like in the background.
perhaps I'm not communicating clearly. I'm agreeing with you.
Okay,
That in this situation, it might be wise to do just what you're saying.
but I guess I'm twisting around and saying, but I don't want to get hung up. Oh, we didn't do that, so we gotta take all of this and
Yeah.
put it in the new
Of
one.
course, but it might give us inspiration. But
Okay.
think about the
Yeah.
things that we want to do as well.
Not only that, it gives us an idea of where we were and what we said we wanted to accomplish.
Mhm.
Did we accomplish it? And if we didn't, maybe that's something we need to look at for the future and put that in the new plan.
Or at least ask people if it's still relevant.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
Just,
Okay.
just,
Good conversation. Okay. Anything else?
This is the director's evaluation. In May, June.
Likely, I think by the time that we get to presentation wise of in here, probably be June.
he's been here a year, right?
Mhm.
Just, yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Time
God.
flies when you're having fun,
I
man.
was teasing you.
I think,
Really?
Choice.
of course, yes.
Wow. I hope we've been having fun.
All right. So we'll probably talk about that sometime.
Is there anything the board wants me to look into or any tasks you'd like me to do between now and the next meeting?
Right?
Yeah. I'm gonna be definitely gonna take the full 5-day weekend for Memorial Day.
Can we take a break for one meeting?
I do not have a specific. I think my own personal, feeling is you are well on your way and you are picking your tasks to do and tell us about on your own.
Yes.
I don't know how much of that we need to dictate. At this point. Though if there is something, of course, that any of us want to know about, that's certainly fine.
We're letting your leash out for a whole month. so.
Any other questions about that? I'm happy to answer. Okay. All right. If there's nothing else, we'll go to our final public comment.
I just remembered one thing. The, new development over there in the amphitheater area, they're taking bids on that construction. There's been a little bit of work done, so that's quite a exciting thing. And I think it'll be a better draw for our music. For the kids to have that, although they have a wonderful time down there. It's just great to see them play and play. 'Cause you think about it, a lot of kids don't have a place to run, jump, go around in the grass. They do a lot of that. I certainly watch that. And, so I don't know the conclusion date, but if they start soon, probably by September.
That's for the play area.
Yeah, the playground and the bathroom.
That's so nice.
Thank you. All right, anybody have any board comments? We can start over here and work our way around if anyone does.
I just want to say thank you, James, for the look on the budget. It was very helpful to me, you know, flip back and forth. Oh, yes, that's what that was. Even though I read it, I don't know I retain everything.
I'm very on the shop. Very easy. Very, very dry. I didn't have to be no lead time, so that makes sense.
Because of the good work that was done in this new budget, I feel we as a board are in the process, as we talked about, for some good and better things. Look where we were 2 years ago, a year ago.
Yeah.
We got a lot to look forward to, and budget's just a part of the process.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you.
I want to say thanks for the presentation and for the budget. My work on those, it was very well put together. And covered all the bases. Thank you.
I just wanted to say thanks to, Tim and James for going to the advocacy day this week. It's really, you know, this is a really important time politically, and people. I really think libraries can be seen as a nonpartisan issue, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. The other thing is I did look up the dates. The cleanup day is the 16th and 17th out here, so,
Okay.
not a lot of people signed up yet. Yeah, and the other thing, please give my compliments to your collections development manager. She's hitting it for my second grader right now. My second grader comes in here and finds exactly what she's looking for, so just pass that on.
Really excited for the future. I am. Budget being adopted, it's just like all those things. And on a serious note, there's a lot of things happening nationally. And community for families and everything that's going on. And I feel really good that we can go to the library. You know what? Let's bring the kids down to the library. Let's go to the reading program. It's a safe place. They're nice people and everything else, and everything that's going on. All of you and the staff and everything create that. That means a lot to me. So keep going.
I just want to compliment the work that, you know, we've spent time looking at the budget today, and one of the things that doesn't always come across in our normal conversations, but when you look at the budget and what is there, I'm very thankful that we are no longer having to scrape by and be so cautious. I remember one of my first meetings talking about this is probably not a responsible time to do away with late fees, for example. And now we don't have to worry about things like that. And just so grateful to the city and Solon Township for making this possible. To do all of the work that you and your staff are doing an excellent job carrying out, but it would not be possible if we were not supported. And so appreciate that a lot. So if okay, motion to adjourn has been made.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Suspect not. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Okay. Thank you.
Memorial Day.